Welcome to Get Clients Now campaigns. We're going to learn two campaigns that will boost your bottom line right away if you apply what you learned today. I'm going to go straight to screen share for today's presentation, and this will help keep me on point since I'm still a little brain foggy from battling this whatever creeping crud that I've been battling for the last 10 days. We're going to start by going through our Allegiance Capital questions. Why are you here? You're here because you signed up to be here for the Get Clients Now campaigns. Are you in the right place? Well, if you want to learn two simple ways to boost your bottom line today, you're definitely in the right place. What should you do next? Well, I love it when you're on camera so that I can see your reactions and know whether or not what I'm saying is being tracked by you. I would be prepared to take notes, and the fair use disclaimer: portions of or the entirety of this workshop replay will be used for educational and promotional purposes. You will only appear on camera if you come off mute and speak during the Q&A section. Comments are disabled. This is just a way to keep myself from being distracted, but also to prevent you all from distracting yourselves. So the encouragement is always to be present, be here now, and present with the learning that's taking place. And then the final question: what happens afterwards? Well, as we always do, there will be a Q&A and implementation session immediately after the presentation. And then, of course, the replay and follow-up resources will be available as soon as the video finishes processing. A warning, rules of engagement, and a community service announcement. You already know this, but my style is fire hose to the face, lots of information, really fast. This is why I'm encouraging you to not only take notes, but to pay attention for when the replay drops, and you can rewatch, stop, and pause as necessary as you're going through the material. Rules of engagement: the sins of solopreneurship, as we all know from the book, are dull, distracted, and delusional. The antidote is receptivity, restraint, and responsibility. So if you already knew everything you needed to do, or if your business was already completely dialed in and running just the way you wanted, you wouldn't be here. So remain open to new ideas and to new approaches. Keep open loops. Don't rush to judgment about the things that are being said. Keep a growth mindset over a fixed mindset. And of course, you are responsible for how you interpret this information and how you implement this information. If you would like to get my help implementing what you learn here today, I would encourage you to get on the Close the Gap updates list. I'll share a link when I share the replay. We're going to be enrolling the next session in the next couple of days. There are only 3 seats that are going to be available. I believe we have 100% re-enrollment. Everybody that was in the last cohort is going to be in the next cohort. So that limits the number of spots available. If you think that you might be interested, but you're not sure that you are ready to commit, I would still get on the updates list. That will lock you in at the current enrollment fee before the fee goes up 33% sometime later this week. So no obligation if you get on the updates list to commit to being part of the next cohort. Just gives you the opportunity to save some money if you decide to do that. A disclaimer and a warning. So all the things that I'm going to share with you today are in Nick Peterson's R3 guide. This is the Retention, Referral, and Raving Fans guide. I think Sandra and Penny might both be owners of that particular guide. I will, when I share the resource links, I'll share a link to that guide that if you want to purchase it, it's very expensive, but I've secured a 60% discount for those of you in the Solopreneur Success Circle that would like to get a copy. And I'm also going to be sharing ideas that were presented to me by Nick and Laurel in one of their recent workshops. So, there's a lot of what is being presented here today is not my own stuff. They are ideas that have been around in digital marketing and marketing in general for a while, but also with Nick and Laurel's unique spin. And the final warning is these are ace card strategies. These are things that you don't play all the time. In general, I use these campaigns quarterly when I'm getting ready to enroll new members into the Close the Gap 90-day Solopreneur Success Accelerator. However, everybody's audience, everybody's domain, everybody's market and offer is different. So my caution is these are campaigns that you should use judiciously. You should use them on purpose when necessary. In general, these are campaigns that you can use when you need cash now. But if you're always in a state of needing cash now, then there's a deeper problem that we need to address. And it can't be cured by just launching these campaigns over and over and over again. So, but if you have something like a cohort that enrolls on a monthly or quarterly or annual basis, these campaigns can be really great. If you're in a jam because of an unexpected expenditure comes up and you need cash immediately, these can be campaigns that will get you that cash really quickly. So we're going to do this in three parts. The first part is the preparation. The second part is re-engagement. And the third part is the campaigns themselves. And so just asking for your patience as we go through the preparation part. It might feel like, well, what does this have to do with the campaigns? All will become very apparent. It will all make complete sense by the time we get to the end. But what I want to do is make sure that before you even think about getting into using these campaigns, that you actually have all the preparation and all the things in place necessary to execute them successfully. So in the preparation phase, what we're looking at are natural deadlines, our buckets, our customer, client, prospect, lead buckets, and then 5 questions. So let's start with the natural deadlines. Natural deadlines and rhythms. Okay, so natural deadlines and rhythms are organic, non-scammy, non-spammy, non-online guru, digital marketer, tricky, hacky ways that we can create a tight window for delivery, create actual urgency, and leverage organic, authentic scarcity that helps people make a decision whether or not to do a thing that we would like them to do. And they leverage the most important word in the English language when it comes to helping people make a decision or when you're in a negotiation. So this is the word because. This idea comes from Robert Cialdini's book, Influence. He also wrote another great book called Prefluence. And he references some studies that have been done that demonstrate that people are generally sense-making creatures. Like we want to know that we like to think that there's a reason for why things happen and a reason for why we should or should not do things. And so there was this study where people were instructed to go into a coffee shop where there was a long line, and they would go to the front of the line and ask the person, hey, can I cut in line? And people would generally say, no, you can't cut in line. Go ahead and get at the end of the line. Then they had people go in and give a really good reason for why they were cutting in line. Hey, can I cut in line because my dog is in the car and it's hot out, or my grandmother's home sick and I need to get back to her? And generally, people were very open to the idea of letting people cut in line because there was a good reason. And then the study did something really interesting, which was they had people go in and give not a good reason for wanting to cut in line. Basically, they would go in and say, hey, can I cut in line because I want to? And people generally still said yes. And the reason is that there was a reason, not a good reason, but a reason for why they were being asked to extend this favor to someone. So natural deadlines and rhythms leverage the idea of because. And so there's basically four categories of natural deadlines and rhythms. The first are pre-wired calendar events. These are your national holidays, your international holidays, your bank holidays. And then if you want, you can Google, there's all sorts of ridiculous kind of holidays like National Peanut Butter Day and things like that. These make great natural deadlines because they're pre-wired. Like Christmas is coming because Christmas always comes on the 25th of December. The New Year is coming because the New Year is always on January 1st of the year. We don't have to do any explaining to get people to understand that there's this natural deadline coming up. There's a reason to act on or before that date. There's also often, depending on your industry, what are called industry deadlines. So these are things like April 15th is tax day. So if you're an accountant, you have an industry deadline that people recognize. If you do business taxes, there's quarterly taxes that have to be done every year. People understand that they have to get their information into the IRS by a certain date. Then there are your business rhythms, your personal business rhythms. So for instance, Close the Gap is enrolling is a personal business rhythm. My business enrolls a new cohort into the program every 3 months. And so that's just a natural deadline created by a business rhythm that I've established. So if you have cohorts of any kind that you enroll, this can be a really powerful way to create natural deadlines and leverage business rhythms. And then finally, there's the personal rhythms. So these are the things that are personal to you, things like birthdays and vacations. Hey, it's my birthday, so whatever the offer is. Or before I go on vacation, I'm going to open up 3 seats in my program or what have you. So if there's any kind of personal cycles or goals that your audience understands because they are aware of and pay attention to who you are and what you do, you can leverage personal rhythms very effectively, maybe even in some ways the most effectively. So one of the things that you see me do often is, hey, I'm going to open up a Zoom room on Saturday because my wife has to work that day and I want to keep myself out of trouble. That's a personal rhythm that I am leveraging as a because to get you to take an action or to understand and believe that there's a good and organic, natural, authentic reason for me doing what I am doing. After you come up with your list of natural deadlines and rhythms, and I would encourage you to come up with several for each of these, then you want to look at your buckets. Okay. And we've talked about this before, but basically the buckets are how you determine who are your prospects, who are your leads, who are your front end customers, also known as leads, and who are your back end customers, people that have bought from you in the past that might be willing to buy from you in the future. And so the campaigns that we're going to talk about today will focus mostly on prospects and front end leads. And you can go through the audit, the relationship audit that I shared with you before we jumped on this call when you signed up for the workshop. That's a great place to start. Like just taking an actual audit of who are all the people that I know are paying attention to me, who are giving me permission to have personal, relevant, anticipated conversations with them through email or through Substack or what have you. Just to give you an example, the way that I bucket my prospects, leads, and back-end customers is my prospects are basically anybody that's subscribed to my Substack or follows my Substack, I consider a prospect. My front end customers or my leads are my paid subscribers and people that have purchased some sort of low ticket offer from me. And then my back end customers are the people that have bought a mid to high ticket offer from me in the past. That's the way that I kind of look at my prospects, my leads, and my raving fans and people that will refer me to their friends and coworkers. Now, within each of those categories, you still need to put these names into one of three buckets, which are a good fit now, which are meaning that they understand the problem that they have and they see you as a viable solution to that problem or to achieve that aspiration. Who's a good fit later, meaning they know, like, and trust you, but they're not quite ready to commit to working with you. And who's not a good fit? Maybe they're not problem enough aware. Maybe they're not solution enough aware. Maybe they're just not educated enough to work with you. And what you want to do is focus on the good fit now. And actually, one of these campaigns is going to enable you to actually let these folks self-select whether they're a good fit now or good fit later. So good fit, not a good fit are people that you never want to actually make an offer to. You want to just deliver value and earn goodwill. This will turn them into good fit later prospects. Good fit later leads and prospects are people that define what these are folks that you want to help define what they need in order to become a good fit now, so that you can nurture them into the good fit now category. And then the good fit now folks are the people that have the highest probability and the lowest risk for getting turned off by one of these ACE card campaigns, one of these two campaigns that we're going to talk about. So the idea here is that we want to always invert. And what I'm talking about here when I talk about inverting is when we listen to the online gurus and the digital marketers, what are they talking about? They're talking about funnels. And what do they want? When they talk about funnels, what are they talking about? How can you get the word out to more people? How can you get more people to the top of your funnel so that you can cram them through and get the 1 or 2% that will buy from you to buy from you? That is a very labor intensive, time intensive, energy intensive activity. Trying to convince random people, strangers, that they have a problem, that you have a solution, and that you're the right solution to their problem requires an immense amount of work. Instead, and this goes along with the Be a Blessing marketing approach, if we start with the people, number one, that we've already served and have been delighted by the difference that we help them make, who are already raving fans, who are already referring us, those are the folks that are most likely to either buy from us again or to help point us towards other people like them that are good fit now clients. And then working your way from the good fit now to the good fit later and to the not a good fit. You want to work your way first with your warmest market and then work your way back to the coldest market. That's what I mean by inverting. All right, and now the 5 questions